Hi, I'm Paul Begley. We got breaking news. Breaking news just happened. Moscow, Russia. A bomb has just went off in the busiest airport there in Moscow. 31 people are dead. 130, 140 people are injured. The information is sketchy, so the numbers are going to change when you watch this video, so don't get all upset. But what's going on? Because if you think of it, it happened in the place where where people are being picked up after they get off planes. And there was no real security. There's no way to really check out what's going on. You know how it is in an airport. I'm Paul Begley. So here you are. Get your coffee. The terrorism never stops. I'm Paul Begley. I want to get right to this thing. Here's the situation. We all know that when people are getting on airplanes, they got to go through the inspection. You got to go through the baggage claim. I mean, you got to go through the inspection process, customs, whatever it is, however you're traveling through these airports. As security has really been beefed up all over the world to protect the world from these radical Islamic jihadists, these Muslim militants, these ministers of Mecca. They're the menace of malice, and it's all in their mind. And they keep the suicide bombing. Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan. It just goes on and on. And Yemen. It just goes on. Now, I'm not saying that that's who did this one. I don't know. They're my first. I mean, it got to be your first on your list. Who do you think it could be? Radical Islam. I mean, but we don't know, so let's not rush to judgment. But let's say this. How does this happen? Here's the deal. When people get off a plane, you get your bags, you go out onto the street right there, and you wait for your cab, your bus, someone in a car that's picking you up. Now, if large numbers of people just come off airplanes and it's a busy time of day like it was at the time of this explosion in Russia, a person could actually pull up on the side of the street as if they're going to pick people up. As the crowds are gathering coming out of the airport, then the bomb explodes, killing, injuring, and maiming, and the mayhem and the misery there in Moscow, in Russia. Who did this? What evil is lurking deep within the crevices of the corrupt heart of man? Where is the regard for the human life? Where is the respect for humanity? What religious fanatic, what religious or political motivated individuals would think that murdering innocent people you don't even know? Now, there's been civil unrest, there's been tensions, there's been struggles, and as the current currency crisis continues to fluctuate, and as the misery of the unemployment in many parts of the world, not just America, as the economic slowdown has affected people's livelihoods, as nations, 10 nations in the EU, and actually there's 27, but let's just talk about the main 10. In the European Union, some of the top nations are bankrupt. Greece, Ireland, Spain, Portugal. I mean, they're upside down, and there's others that are hinging. Socialism, communism, these different types of doctrines of government are not working. They're not working. And then even if you have a good one like capitalism, you have to worry about corruption. Again, breaking news. We don't know who did it. We don't know who did it. We just don't know who did it. I can't come out and just point it out. This is one of those deals. When you're talking about Russia, you got so many different issues fluctuating here. The oil pipeline, Georgia being run over basically by Russia, the Chechen issues, the communist hardliners against the capitalist democracy movement that wants to, I know Russia's supposed to be a democracy. But as I said earlier in a video I just did, it's kind of strange, I just did a video about Vladimir Lenin's body laying there in Red Square, and communism's dead, right? It's been dead. If it's dead, why are you glorifying its dead founder? Okay, but that was a different video. And then as I was doing the video, obviously the explosion was going off in Russia. I had no idea. Again, this is part of the misery of the Bible prophecies, where hatred, the haters of hell are loose. The demons that live in the hearts of men. Somebody's watching me right now saying, Paul, what are we going to do about all these things? I mean, what can we do? Well, first thing you can do is ask yourself, do you have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ? Are you saved? Have you come to the cross? The next thing you can do is start asking yourself, what kind of condition is the spiritual condition of your family? Your wife, your husband, your children, your grandchildren, your brothers, your sisters, your nieces, your nephews, your cousins, your parents. I mean, where is that relationship with God? And the next thing you can do is ask yourself, am I being a light to my neighbor? Does my neighbor know God? Because people, if you think that humanity is going to fix itself, you got another thing coming. Do you honestly think it? Don't you see the murder, the mayhem, the misery, the mockery of God, the breaking down of the moral structure, the bombs in Moscow now? Breaking news, once again, there's been a bomb exploded in Moscow at the busiest airport there. Reports are, one report is there's 24 or 23 people dead. Another report says there's 31 dead. We don't know what the number is yet. 130, maybe 140 are injured. We don't know it. The details are sketchy, but we know this. Somebody blew up right there on the street, right as people are coming out of the terminal, where there's no checkpoints and no checks and balances and no security really. And there they blew these people up. It'll be all over the news. You're going to see it everywhere. Check it out. And let's pray for the people of Russia. Would you do that? And for the injured and for the families of those that have died. I'm Paul Begley. The world's an awful place. And that's why I keep telling you, Jesus is coming back soon. Do you know him?